All right, hello guys. We're going to be using a meter stick today, and it's similar to using the metric ruler. Just a couple of differences we have to go over real fast. Some key things to remember is that 1 meter, the entire stick, is equal to 100 centimeters. So you can see that this is 10 centimeters, 20, 30, all the way up to 100 to the end of the ruler. Okay. 1 meter is also equal to 10 decimeters. If you take a look from here to here, all right, this is 1 decimeter. All right, if I count from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, that's 10 decimeters in the entire meter. All right, that'll be a little important later. And then finally, you already know about 1 centimeter. And if you take a look, I kind of marked it off. This is 1 decimeter. So this is the largest measurement on the meter stick, other than the entire meter stick itself. You have a centimeter, which is the next biggest one, and that would be from 20 to 21 here, okay? And then we have 1 millimeter, which is the tiniest measurement, and it takes up hardly any space. To be honest, when you use the Sharpie, you can hardly even make 2 lines close enough for a millimeter, and that's right here, okay? You can kind of see it right there. What we're gonna do next, first thing we're gonna do is measure something that's less than a meter, all right? And it's gonna be this sheet of paper. So what I do is, and we'll kind of go underneath, is these numbers will help me figure it out quickly. So I have, the first difference you have to remember is that on the meter stick, we start at the end of it. On the 30 centimeter ruler we used, we started a little bit over on the meter, on the centimeter ruler stick, because the 0 was, and I can even show you real fast. Somebody grab their ruler, bring it over here quick. Thank you, Bree. All right, if you look here, if you look here, you have 0 starting. It starts like a little bit over on the ruler. On the meter stick, you just start right from the end. So that's one big important difference. So for measuring this, I can use, and we're going to measure this to the nearest millimeter. I'm going to go right across, and you can see 60 is here, so this is 60 centimeters, or you could say it's 6 decimeters because it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, or if you convert it to centimeters, it's just 60 centimeters, and that's what it tells you here. So these big numbers are actually in centimeters on the ruler. If you want to count it as a decimeter, it would only be 6, not 60, okay? All right, so I'm going to take a look at the end, and I can write down for my answer. This is less than a meter, so it's going to be in centimeters. We're going to put our answer to the nearest centimeter. So that would be, it's going to be 60 something, all right? If I get a little closer here with my glasses on, I should be able to see this. We have 60. 61's a little too much, all right, because the paper's not quite 61 centimeters, so it's going to be 60 point something. So we're going to put that here, all right, and you can put the decimal already. Now we're just going to count up the millimeters. This little point is the halfway line. We've already gone over that in class, so all we're going to do is count from the halfway line, and it looks like it's about 1, 2, 3, we'll say 4 past it. So it's going to be 60.4 centimeters. All right, if you want to look at what this represents, this would actually be a decimeter. This would be the actual centimeters. And this one would actually be the tiniest one is the millimeters. I just put mm for that because we've already done them. All right, now we're going to do the entire table. Okay, so we're going to do a little trick here. This is less than a meter, obviously, this entire paper. The table is, you can see, is more than a meter. So what we're going to do is use this construction paper to help us. So from the end of the table, I want it touching flush against the end. And you look over here, and I'm going to make, and I already did this, I made a mark at the end of the ruler. And all I'm going to do is take this ruler and go down. And I'm going to slide over and not run into Donovan, hopefully. And now we're going to start from there. So we already have, this represents 1 meter because it's more than a meter. And when you take a look, over here, you can quickly go, the tenths is gonna represent decimeters, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 1.5. It doesn't reach 6 because obviously the table's not quite 0.6, is it? So we're gonna have 0.5, we can write the 0.5, and that represents decimeters. And if you look at the centimeters here, you have 1 centimeter. 2 centimeters is too much, right? So we can put the 1 right now, which I already did, and that represents, if I just slide this down a little bit now, well, I can leave it there actually. Try to put up a little higher. Okay, so that was centimeters. Now we have to just figure out, it's not quite 52 centimeters, so all we're gonna, I'm sorry, it's not quite we have 1 and there's 2 centimeters, so it's not quite 2 centimeters, so we have to go to millimeters, so it's gonna be about I would say it's about 1.5 millimeters, and I already wrote that. This represents millimeters. So this might seem like a lot of numbers, but we have 1.5. We want to be exact when we're measuring. So you're going to go 3 places past the decimal, point. So in our tenths, it's the decimeters. Our hundredths would be the centimeters, and then the thousandths would be the millimeters. Okay, so this answer would be 1.515, and we're going to the nearest millimeter here, but this is 1.515 meters would be your answer because that's what we're measuring. But that's an exact measurement, okay? If we're trying to fit this table through a door, you want to be exact as possible. But if we're running a race, you would probably just round this to 1.5 meters, and that would be a little bit easier. It just depends on what you're using it for. Another, this is only 1 centimeter past 1.5, so running another centimeter wouldn't make a difference. But if you're trying to fit it through the door, this whole table, that would be a big difference. All right, sounding off. I'll see you guys later.